A report has just been received of a woman threatening to kill herself. A team is dispatched to deal with the emergency.
What we're responding to is a female who... responding to a female who's currently at a railway station in Birmingham. She's gone missing from her family early today, and her intention is to step in front of a railway line. So we've currently got British Transport police officers with her, and we're en route now to make sure that we can safeguard her, get her back to her family as quickly as possible.
In the unmarked ambulance in front of us is a police officer, a paramedic, and a psychiatric nurse. 3 services dealing with one crisis together.
So what you'll notice is we've turned the sounds off as we approach, because the station is not far away now, so it helps to just make sure we try not to do it unless we have to.
She's being held in the back of that car?
Yeah, back in the police car.
The woman is transferred to the ambulance, where the paramedic carries out a full physical examination. At the same time, the mental health nurse is evaluating her patient.
So she'll be starting to get some details, starting to understand a little bit about history, starting to understand exactly what's occurring today.
So the police officer is almost redundant now?
Yeah, absolutely. But what the interesting bit around this is actually they might be redundant, but if this girl then decides to walk away, the mental health nurse or the paramedic have got no power to stop her.
Right.
So I suppose as a police officer being called to this 12 months ago before the triage team, our immediate action probably would have been to detain under the Mental Health Act, because they were intent on doing some harm to themselves.
Take it straight to a prison cell?
Straight to a police cell or to a place of safety.
It's decided the woman is a danger to herself. But instead of taking her to a police cell, she's brought to a secure mental health unit for more care.
She was quite reluctant to engage with us initially. She was very distressed and tearful, but she was communicating that she was having thoughts to end her life. So that was enough to concern us to bring her here for a further assessment. About 3 years ago, she was under services. She had contact then and she was diagnosed with a psychotic depression. So that information is really useful when you're going into an assessment, because you can kind of know what signs and symptoms you're looking for. She'll see one of the on-call doctors, one of the psychiatrists will come and have a further chat with her, and together they'll formulate a plan of care.
It's another success for the team and the triage project. Introduced here in the West Midlands Police Force last year, the approach has already produced some big results.
Got it. Okay.
But the most important one is the dramatic reduction in police detention under Section 136 of the Mental Health Act. Essentially, criminalising someone who is sick and in need of care.
The number of detentions we're actually reducing now. I mean, we've seen a 51% reduction in the number of people detained. I mean, that's over 300 people within Birmingham Solihull in the last 12 months. So that's really, really significant. We've also stopped nearly 700 people being admitted to A&E, because the way that our process works with the paramedic means that physical health can be dealt with by the paramedic in a lot of circumstances now.
But the achievement of the West Midlands Police Force is rare. Policing mental health is a huge challenge, and many forces are struggling to cope, especially in areas where mental health care budgets are underfunded. The scandal was exposed in November last year. A 16-year-old girl with a history of serious self-harm was brought into a custody suite to protect her until a secure hospital bed could be found. She ended up being held for 3 days and 2 nights. But the strongest condemnation came from within the same police force that had arrested and detain the girl.
I've spent some time with the West Midlands Police.
Assistant Chief Constable Paul Netherton, shocked and distressed by what was happening, took to social media.
It is unacceptable that we have a suicidal young person being kept in police custody overnight and in this case for 3 days in a place which is full of drunk and aggressive and violent individuals. To have someone who is suicidal in that is unacceptable. When I was a young police officer, it was all about catching criminals, of burglars and car thieves. Now, my officers are spending about 20% of their time dealing with either the after effects of mental health issues or dealing with people suffering from mental health episodes.
I sense from listening to you and to other police officers that there is the sense of frustration that you've talked about, but certainly there is a tension between the police force and the other services, healthcare providers. Is that a fair assessment, do you think?
There is, and certainly over the last few years that tension has been growing. We're all in austerity, we understand that. The problem is that the government funded the health service to provide certainly the establishments for these people to go to. The challenge for the health service is they've got to provide the staff to staff them and look after the patients, and they simply are having to make very tough choices. The view of the police service is, well, I understand that, but actually it's never right that these patients are coming into police premises and we're having to look after them when we haven't got the skills, we haven't got the facilities, and to be frankly honest, a custody block is not where you should put someone who is suicidal.
I spoke to the mother of the girl, and although she has nothing but praise for ACC Paul Netherton and his force, she's clearly distraught at the failure to care for her sick child.
She would have been very scared. Then she would have had to obviously hear whatever was going on in the other cells, the drunks coming in on the Friday night, the same again on the Saturday night. I don't know, I think she would have been scared. I know she was asleep a lot of the time because of the medication, so I'm hoping she wasn't damaged too much by it, because like I say, a lot of the time she was asleep.
The girl was moved to 3 different locations following her detention. The family spent Christmas on the road, travelling from one facility to the other. Now she's being held at a hospital in Norwich, but her family lives in Devon, on the other side of the country. Most people accept she could get better sooner if she had her family nearby, but no suitable beds are available.
How much effort does it take for you to get to see your daughter?
Oh, it takes a lot of effort.
And money, and time.
Yeah, but I do it because she's my daughter and I love her. I don't see her. I've seen her twice since Christmas. She needs us. And when we are with her, it's amazing because all the staff are saying how well my daughter's doing and how she needs to be near her family. But it's crazy because she's so far away, and now I'm having to fight for my child to just get what she needs and to get better.
The bed shortage is one symptom of a mental health system in crisis. Another is the need for more safe spaces. Otherwise, police forces across the country will have no choice but to continue criminalising society's most vulnerable. Ashish Joshi, Sky News.